Nicely done.
Catch and release, that's even better.
There we go. This is that new Berkley crankbait, isn't
That
it?
is, sure
Yeah,
is.
with the weighted bill. Haven't had a chance to try one of those yet.
That's the 15-footer there.
What is the water temp in here anyway?
90.4.
There we are.
Got one.
Here he comes.
A good one. Real good
Come
one.
here, you.
Do it, Glenn.
He wants to show off for us.
That's a pretty fish there, buddy. Pretty fish.
That'll work. That'll work. That's a good fish.
I'll tell you, that's a good
A
fish.
mouthful of crankbait too.
All right, just hold out there, hold tight, 10-pound line, remember that. So if a person's got a question about, hey Glenn, I saw you and Hank out there on Lake Caroline fishing crankbaits. What were those crankbaits? You can answer that question.
I can.
Boy, fishing is a changing thing. This whole world's a changing, moving target with social media and all the things that happen.
Well, Jeff, I hope that answers your question.
My buddy Glenn May has put together a website called Bass Resource. It is the single most informative website that I have ever visited. I've been working with him on this and being a little bitty teeny part of it for a while now. But Glenn and I are going to get together, we're going to go fishing, we're going to talk about the forum that he does on his website, we're going to talk about how things are changing, and we're going to try to catch a fish in the process. So it's going to be happening. You stay with me. I'm Hank Parker. 2 hours of pushing brooms.
Buys it.
8
A
by
10.
10, 4.
That's it. There we go.
Got him.
Oh, he came off. Man of no means by means, or something like that.
I'm a man of means.
That's it.
Fish,
Man
fish,
of
fish,
means.
fish.
That's the pattern. You got to sing.
That blows me away. I figured it'd be for sure.
Really? They should be right there.
They are there. They're just not biting. They're there. Their brim beds are there. They're right there. I missed him. He bit the little 10-inch worm. He took and
Took
bit
it?
my
I was going to
little-
say, I bet he took it.
He took and bit my little 10-inch worm. Hey, you know, I'm not a technology guy. I'm not a guy that embraces change very good. I don't know how to deal with all the internet. I'm not a surfer. I don't know the answer to a lot of the social media questions. But I can tell you, I was introduced to Bass Resource, Glenn May's website, and I liked it. It was solid information. He does a forum that is in different geographical areas. He's got different people in different states, and you get so many different opinions and input on information, whether it's techniques, methods, or lays, that it's really key information to help you improve your fishing, and I like that. That was a good one. It went all the way to the core.
So that's what those look like.
You had one before?
I've heard about them.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been trying for years, and I finally got one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't go to a lot of websites because they're so controversial. I hate all the controversy. Everything about the outdoors ought to be good, refreshing, exciting. I mean, we don't need to hide ourselves under a basket if there's some environmental issues we need to be aware of. All that's good, but it needs to be done in a positive way, and everything that I want to do with the outdoors is positive. I want to take kids fishing. I want to get the Outdoor Dream Foundation well known. I want to do things that are meaningful and are positive. So I like that about Bass Resource. It is about information that is positive. First cast, BASS tournament. Man, it took me probably 2.5 minutes to pick that thing out. When I picked it up, my little line was tight and I set to it, caught a 714.
Nice.
Here we go.
Go get him, Hank.
Really excited to have Glenn as a guest on the show.
That's a good one too.
Nice.
Letting it lay there. And I'm pretty intrigued with how he got this thing started and how he keeps it going and how did he go about putting all these forums together. So it's pretty cool that I get the chance to fish with him. It's a serious fish here.
Bring this line in.
Very serious fish.
There we go.
How about that? That is a serious fish. I like that this morning. Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Bass
Nice.
fish.
There we go.
Now that's the way to start the day. How about that?
Nice. Beautiful fish.
These fish are laying out here. There's about 1 million brim beds there. And the information that I got from my buddy Kyle Taylor, who's been fishing a lot in the last couple of days, says the bite is a very slow bite. Fish are not really aggressive, so you have to really work it. And a worm continuously moving slow on the bottom has been the most productive for him. He's a great fisherman, so not that I won't throw any top water, but I will try to take his advice and fish that 10-inch worm slow in front of these brim beds and see what happens.
My turn.
About time. I've been waiting on you. Come on up there.
Boy.
Good.
He came off. Ah.
He got the wave.
He jumped.
He didn't stay on.
I don't know if you heard it or not, the plumbers that were over there yesterday, the big guy was working on the sprinkler. That billy goat hit him on the side and knocked him, and he rolled down the hill.
No kidding. How about that?
He got tackled by a billy goat.
How'd you come up with Bass Resource?
Well, on about 94, 95, I got some books on HTML and JavaScript. The idea was to build a site that I could use as like a resume, so I could go get a job somewhere. Back then, a big website had 3 pages. So I built with 50 pages, and I went to Microsoft and said, "Would you guys hire me?" And they did. So I said, "All right, I'm gonna pack it up and close it down." It did its job. I got, the resume worked. But then I decided, well, you know what? It's not really hurting anything, so
Keep it going.
I'll just keep it going.
So it's all about bass fishing information.
It's all about bass fishing.
You post that every day?
Every day.
Every day?
Yep, we have professional writers that write for the site every day. Videos, we got the forums that have become extremely popular. And yeah, people are posting all day long on that. 24/7.
Every single day.
Who'd have thunk, right?
Who would have ever thunk it? Hey, we're having some good conversation going on, and we're actually catching fish. I think we're going to catch another one, so stay with me. We'll be right back. And how many people come to your site on a daily basis?
Between 35 and 40,000 a day.
Between 35 and 40,000 people a day to
Yeah.
talk bass fishing.
Yep. It was a bass. Look at that.
I tell you.
Look at that.
Oh,
Oh, it's a good one.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Yeti coolers, built for the wild.
Look at that.
You got him. He's all yours.
Oh,
Hey,
goodness.
Did you see your bobber go under, or how did you know?
You folks at home make a note of that.
Hey, this whole show was about Glenn being a part of Hank Parker's Outdoor Magazine, but it also was about me having the opportunity to go on his social media site and answer questions.
Hey folks, Glenn May here with BassResource.com, and I'm here with Hank Parker. We've been out fishing some of Hank Parker Outdoors TV, And I took a little break here to answer some of your tips. And we're sitting there doing some of Hank Parker's tips. I'll try that again. Boy, I really stumbled through that. Hey folks, Glenn May here. Hey folks, Glenn May here with BassResource.com, and I'm here with Hank Parker with another weekly. What is my name? Try it again. Hey folks, Glenn May here with BassResource.com. Bug was getting me. Hey folks, Glenn May here with BassResource.com, and welcome to another weekly episode of Hank Parker's Fishing Tips with Hank Parker.
How about that? Here I am, Glenn. No one's found that out
Somebody
yet.
help me. Hank, this week's question comes from Paul from Streamwood, Illinois, and he asked, when you're halfway into the tournament and the chips are down.
So he had like 100 different questions that people all over the country ask my opinion of. So that was kind of neat. That is a challenge, and there are so many people. I do my best to answer them the best I could. If I didn't know the answer, I'd make something up. What the heck? That's the whole key.
Paul, I hope that answers your question.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. Bring him in.
Throw it right there behind it, and there's a bunch of them. I'll take about 5 or 6 of those in a row.
That wasn't bad. Look at that.
I'll tell you.
Look at that. Oh, that's a good one.
Glenn, what you got, Glenn?
Oh, look at this.
Come this way.
Oh, my goodness.
I think you're excited. I think you're
Holy
excited.
moly. Come here, honey.
Don't get nervous, Glenn. Glenn, stay up here on the deck. Don't get nervous. We want to see him. Let him jump for the camera. I know you're.
Oh, look at that.
You're excited. So, here you go. I got it.
You got him?
We got him in the boat.
Look at that.
You thought that was a carp, didn't you? That is the biggest mouth carp. I'm holding your fish, but I wanted to get close enough to the camera that we could see. We finally got a 5-pound fish, what they look like. We've had a hard time this morning getting the bites in the boat. But here, I'm gonna let you hold him and release him.
Boy, he clobbered it.
He did.
Thank you, sweetie. I'll let you release nice and easy.
Yeah, if
Look at that.
we see more of those carp, we'll be doing better. That fish was pushing water, looked just like a carp.
He clocked it. Yeah, I thought it was a carp, but I thought, you know what, I'll just throw it in front of it just in case. And man, he hammered it.
He did hammer it.
Just hammered it.
And he bit it hard too. Woo. He bit it good besides hammering it.
Hank Show is made possible in part by Luz. Feel the difference. And by Minn Kota. Soft Science. Solar Bat. And Talon.
I thought they'd bite the old top water when I saw all these cruisers, but they hadn't been so very excited about it. What we're doing is we're fishing for bass that are so targeted on these bluegill beds that what we're throwing, topwater bait, worms, spinnerbait, crankbaits, all the other things have not looked enough like a bluegill to get them excited. So we're really having to work to get these fish to bite our little rubber baits or our little spinner bugs or our little topwater baits. And when they hit it, they're not sold on it. You can tell they're just not sold. That's why I bet this morning I have missed as many fish or more than I've caught. And that always frustrates me. I hate finding fish, getting the bite, and then not being able to close the deal. I'm gonna see what happens.
Hank, this week's question comes from Ken Godding of Akron, Ohio, and he asks, when summer hits, it seems all the big fish go away. How do you find and catch those bigger fish during summer?
I don't know he's looking. Well, Ken, if I knew the answer to that, I'd have made a lot more money than what I made when I was on the tournament circuit. That summertime big fish bite is really, really hard to find. And sometimes you can find them out there on that deep water structure.
There it is.
Little bitty guy. You know, David Fritz was a master of just taking his depth finder and going down and getting on those creek channels and cranking and catching individual fish. It seems like those big guys don't gang up as much as the slot fish, the 3 and 4 pounders. Once they get 6, 7 pounds like you catch in the spring of the year, they're kind of loners. So Fritz won so many tournaments just throwing a crankbait, hitting a stump on the edge of a creek channel and catching one bass.
That'll work.
And may go 500 yards before he catches another one, maybe a mile. So just covering a lot of territory, looking for solo fish. Usually that school of fish is not going to be a giant bass like you catch in the spring. So it seems like those big fish are really, really tough to come by because they're loners and they're scattered out. So you just have to cover a lot of water. Crankbait's a good way to do that. Fish. I got the little fish on my crankbait.
There you go.
We're out here cranking a road bed that I thought we'd be catching a lot more fish on. We've caught a few. Not what I thought we'd catch, and it's a good place to catch a big one. We hadn't done that yet, but we're not giving up.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, go boldly.
You got a little fish, don't you?
Well, he sure thinks he's big.
Got a big one? Oh, good one.
Here we go.
Do you have as many as 5,000 or 6,000 questions in a day?
Not in a day. New ones every day. We get quite a few dozen. I've never really counted before. And I'm not the only one answering. We have everybody chimes in.
The top of the, hey, the purpose of our show today, I am not an internet guy at all. I've been slow to catch on, but Glenn's site is so informative, and there is a wealth of information there from all over the country. So it is a really, really unique website that has probably packed more information about how to, when to, on bass fishing than any other site that I've visited. So Glenn, it has been so much fun out here today.
My pleasure, Hank.
Trying, and you showed off and caught the biggest fish, and that's okay, I forgive you. And I may edit that out.
Boy, he clobbered it.
He did. Release that big boy.
He's done. Back in the bowl.
Back in the ball game. Whoa. Go ahead and jump out. Go ahead. We probably won't show that but twice. Once in regular motion, once in slow motion.
Somebody help me now, please.
Hey, Glenn came from a long way away, Washington State, but his website makes the whole world small. Man, he's got people that join in on the forum from all over the country. It's amazing how he's put that thing together and so much information. And I look forward to working with Glenn for many, many years and being a part of his website, bassresource.com. You need to check that out. It is a very, very good way to learn and learn about different geographical areas. The one thing that he did not learn through the website is how humid it is in Alabama. So he had a big culture shock when he came from a weather perspective. But Glenn and I had a lot of fun. We talked about the website, but we also worked on catching fish out of Lake Caroline. Hope you enjoyed the show today. It was fun for me, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.